And welcome to another episode of Stack Your Points. As always, I'm Matt from the Matt Clausen YouTube channel, joined this week by RJ from RJ's new channel.
Yeah, RJ got a channel. 2 minutes, points, and miles, where I do the opposite of this podcast and am purposely brief. So a lot of it's going to be satire and humor. I will occasionally explain things. Like, I think I'm going to do like the status tiers of different things like Delta and United and AA and stuff. So that will probably be actually more like educational. There will be some jokes in there, but I make sarcastic one-liners on the live and on this podcast all the time. So I thought, what if I condense that into a 2-minute video? So I have a channel. If you go to stackyourpoints.com, you can find that channel.
There you go. Also joined by Alani, who has been dealing with weird charges and also Vegas being the place to be to burn your credits. Lonnie, how are you this week?
I've had a lot going on in these last 3 weeks. It feels good to be home after all these flights and all these hotel beds, literally for 3 weeks. Nothing's better than just clicking your heels together and just being and sleeping in your own bed. And you know what? My shower might not have the same water pressure as some of those hotels, but my shower is better than those hotels. It's just good to be home. But yeah, Vegas got ridiculously expensive. Spent $25 buying nothing but a chai tea or a chai latte for those that chai tea is TT. And a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich cost $26.
Oh my God.
Did they gild it in gold?
No. Vegas is stupid expensive. But to your point, I knocked out so many credit card credits that I would normally never get. The ones that I usually just let go in the file 13. No, knocked them all out in a couple of days in Vegas. It was awesome. To the point where the back half of the year, I should just book a quick cheap trip to Vegas. Cheap as in the cost of the flight, not.
I would know $25 bacon, egg, and cheese.
I'm going to be at Waldorf Astoria or Conrad Resorts World, so I'm not talking about cheap and bougie. Hey, RJ, how you been? I'm still me in 2026. But no, just burn credits. I hadn't even thought about it. Chase dining credit. Matt, I know how you feel about it. Burned all $150 in a couple of days, where I can never use it here at home. No, it was great.
There you go. $25 for bacon, egg, and cheese. Just no.
And a
absolutely
tea.
Not. And a tea.
And a tea.
I shudder to think what a chopped cheese would cost you.
But so my Vegas trip was a work trip. So obviously I didn't feel so bad because it's going to be fully expensed and reimbursed. But yeah, if it was out of my own pocket, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, can I get a chopped cheese? Yeah, that's going to be your firstborn and $300. Excuse me? Yeah. We're also joined by Craig. Craig, life has been lifing for you. How is life now?
Life now? Better. Fun fact I'm going to let you in on. I have a birthday curse. And you can say, oh, that's psychosomatic. You don't have a birthday curse. And I would agree with you 100% if they were situations that I could control. However, I am currently, how old am I? I am 18 and 14 on birthdays, bad versus good. So we were close to a 500. You're not looking good right now. You're going to need a few positive years to even it back out. But 364 or on a leap year, 65 days of the year, my luck is pretty good. The universe has to keep me humble somehow. And it chooses to do that either on my birthday or the week before.
So my family,
you got that black blood in your family.
My family will not do trips for our birthdays anymore because the last 3 birthday trips we have booked have somehow either gone wrong or we have had to cancel because of extenuating circumstances.
I feel that. Do you want to hear some highlights or lowlights? Some of my favorites?
Please.
This year, covered in sewage. Yeah.
Moving on.
Early lead for a title, covered in sewage.
Parents, hey, we're getting divorced. Looks at them at 7-year-old Craig. It's my birthday. We're going to Chuck E. Cheese.
Ain't no way the influence for Five Nights at Freddy's is going to be the answer to it's my birthday after we're getting a divorce. Actually, lawyers do get expensive.
Do you know what the worst part about all of that was? They bought sausage pizza, and I freaking hate sausage pizza. I'm a pepperoni guy. You rat fakes. How dare you?
They were too concerned about the lawyer? Lawyer? I don't know.
Awfully bold of you to assume my parents can afford a lawyer.
You know what?
Divorce via LegalZoom?
Eh. It's been 25 years. They'll figure it out.
It's fair. It's fair.
We're all having fun. Don't worry, guys. I am not sensitive about this. We're having a good time.
Now I just feel awkward, and I'm the one who came up with the show title. I'm not going to crossbow my father.
That was a great title. That might be one of our highest clicked episodes, too.
I love that.
All right. Much as I want to sometimes. Anyway, as we are wont to do, we occasionally do questions on this here pod. Our first question comes from Thick Boy, who asks, with the excessive devaluations, are points cards now at a stage where they are less valuable than the no annual fee cashback cards? Increasing annual fees while decreasing benefits, reducing the number of transfer partners, and lowering transfer ratios make it seem like points are no longer worth earning. Do you see any other strategies in the points game with this landscape? I'm going to throw to Lonnie first, because I think you'll have the strongest opinion here.
No, I don't think that. I don't agree that points are no longer worth earning. I still agree that they are very much so worth earning. Now, before I get into the deeper part of it, you got to take a step back, Thick Boy, because you're looking at it from a lens of your present perspective. What I mean by that is the adage of save up and buy a house that your grandparents had told you. They saved up and bought a house for $30,000. You can't get the house that they bought nowadays for $30,000. And so what I mean by your present perspective is, yeah, you were at a point where milk and honey was great and you could get all this extra boost and longevity out of your points. And now you're like, wait, things have changed and I can't get that same value. But that person that's just getting started, that is just getting their first credit card, just getting started in the game, maybe in their early 20s, it could be the land of milk and honey for them. We're just aged out because we've been in it for so long. And that's what I mean when I say that. Now, devaluations always happen, just like inflation always happens. Your dollar is never worth the exact same amount as it was a year ago. It's just not. You just lose money even if you have a high yield savings account, you're just losing money. You can't buy the same amount of stuff every single year. That's a devaluation as well. The thing is, the reason why I'm saying it this way is part of the game. You have to be prepared for that when you get into it, which is one of the main reasons why so many people are like, earn and burn. Burn them as fast as you can, because the longer they sit, the more value they're going to lose. With or without an actual company devaluation, they're just going to lose. Hotels are going to cost more. Trips are going to cost more. Flights are going to cost more, no matter what. Even if United or Hilton or Hyatt or whoever doesn't even devalue their points, stuff's just going to cost more next year. And then let's not even get into the supply and demand as more people get in this game and the supply and demand starts changing, which I personally have been around, where Matt and I have talked about this before, where if you want to buy a flight, first class, business class with points, most airlines only do about 10-15% of that first business class cabin in award seats. Because of that, they're not going to give away all of their best, most expensive seats for free. They're not. So I've been in a place where it used to be like 30% of that section of the cabin used to be award flights. I remember you could fly across the country for literally 10,000 points. Find me that nowadays, and that's not on Spirit. I'm being facetious, but you see what I'm saying here. So instead of saying that these points are no longer worth earning, and I do like the very end of your question of there are other strategies. The companies are evolving and adapting to save themselves. We need to evolve and adapt to save ourselves. Do we need to pull our favorite line out of the hat that these companies are not our friends? And I'm not talking about the credit card companies solo here. Even the airlines, the hotels, they got stock shareholders. They got board members they got to pay, and a crew of employees. And hopefully you treat all your service workers kindly, by the way. So with that being said, things don't just cost more money for us. Things cost more money for them, which is why prices are going to always increase. Supply and demand is going to always increase. But there's always a way around it. I mean, that's literally what we do. We find loopholes to get the best value that we absolutely can. That can come from the spending side or the redeeming side, whichever that may happen to be. Now, are there any other strategies? There's always something new that comes up. There's always some type of loophole, something you can find on Reddit, a glitch in the system, if you will. Do I have any for you at this moment right now? I don't. But if I find them, you know where to find me. I've never been truly silent unless it's not full integrity. Unless there's a moral factor. Then I put that behind my paywall on my members only channel. That's not a shout out, but that's nodding his head. Craig, you know it too. I've done it. I've put the other stuff behind the paywall, but as long as it's not hurt nobody and it's, like I say, a glitch in the system, a bug, not a feature, yeah, I'll 100% let y'all know. Let you know here, my channel, wherever it is. I've never been silent about that. It's literally why I created a YouTube channel. But get used to the excessive devaluations. Somewhere these companies have to save $1. That's one place they can do it, especially when so many people are using points. What's the easiest way for them to save $1? Make people use less points.
Yep. No, that's fair. Craig?
I agree with Lonnie. I'll say this. I think for us to assume that points are not in some way, shape, or form tied to the value of an insert blank dollar, pound, anything, right? There has to be a fungible currency that it's tied to. Otherwise, right? Because hotel rooms have become more expensive. I used to be able to consistently find a Fairfield Inn for $90 a night. I'm hard pressed to find any Fairfield Inn that I'd be willing to sleep in, and bar none right now, right? You can find a few Holiday Inns, which surprisingly, I've stayed in more Holiday Inns in the last 3 months than I have Marriott or Hilton. Love that. But I think that points are still a great usage of your time. I think it just depends on what you want to do, right? I think taking cash, if I want cash back, so in my own situation, I am mostly accumulating cash back or transferable currencies that I can take one for cash. And if not, they can go directly to American or Delta. I think it just depends on what you want to do, right? Like, cash is simple. I know if I get $25 in cash back a month, at the end of the year, I'm going to have $600 in cash back, right? And I can buy a flight with that. You can buy a nice weekend if that is what you want to do with that cash back, or you can put it into savings. You can put it into an investment account. I think it's misguided to say that points are not worth accumulating, because there are so many tips and tricks and ways that you can take advantage of it. I think what becomes harder isn't necessarily the accumulation of points, it's the redemption of points. Even with Marriott points, not valuable intrinsically at their face value, right? But there are some ways that you can take Marriott points and turn them into something that's really wonderful. I just burned quite a few, but you can take Marriott points and they could become useful for anybody on this call right now. Turn them into Delta points for RJ, turn them into United points for Lonnie. And that's a way that you can take real advantage of those points, right? Or you can say, even if I don't want to do that, it's just looking for a sweet spot, right? Like, the points and miles game has always been a ebb and flow dance of trying to find these super awesome luxury, in some cases luxury, redemption points or redemption sweet spots, because everybody wants to save money, right? Like it's the age old, I don't care about the point value. That is perfectly fine. If you don't care about the points value, then nothing has changed for you, right? On RJ, don't mean to speak for you, but RJ doesn't care if you have to spend an extra 5,000 points for a Hilton redemption. Just doesn't. But do you care if now there's just no availability at all for those Hilton points? That's the difference, right? Like, I think redeeming those points is becoming more difficult, not necessarily accumulating them, because you can still get 34x with a Hilton Aspire and spend your way into a wonderful vacation. But will that availability be there? So I think still definitely worth the while if that is your goal. For me, that's not my goal for 2026. My goal is to just stabilize and have a way for an exit strategy if I need it. But they'll still think, even within that mindset, it is disingenuous of us to say that points are not worth accumulating.
That's fair. RJ.
I want to shout out Rex in the chat because if you're a Diamond member, you can actually watch this live and in person. And he said that he burnt like 200,000 UR points before they dropped from 2 cents a point. So that is important, right? If you had the ability to get 2 cents per point and now you don't, that is a huge redemption. So shout out. I think it depends on what you're looking for in your credit cards and your points. There is no cashback card that will get you above basic status. There's not, right? If you want gold status with Hilton, if you want gold status with Marriott, if you want platinum status with IHG, if you want any of those higher statuses, you have to get a points earning card, right? That's a fact, right? So if you are somebody who wants that sort of thing, you have to go into points. You don't have a choice. Now you can get that card and not use it and use cashback for everything, right? But chances are those points earning cards actually cost money. So then you're trying to do cashback to offset the cost of an annual fee on a card you're not using. So it can get stupid after a minute, right? So it depends on what you want. If you just want to do cashback for everything and you don't want to do points and you're finding it complicated or difficult to find what you want, just do cashback and pay cash. Like the idea that cash is somehow a bad thing to do in travel is dumb. Most of my redemptions are few and far between. I pay cash for probably 90% of my travel between airlines, hotel stays, whatever. I get status, I get certain perks, I get those benefits, I accumulate points, I use them. Craig's question tonight for topics. I'm going to talk about a redemption where I didn't pay anything out of pocket to stay at the hotel or be on the flight. I paid money when I got there and did certain things, but like that redemption was almost a year of paying cash and then targeting that redemption because that is when I wanted to do it. I much rather do one actual points redemption a year and just pay cash for everything else because I get exactly what I want when I pay cash, right? But I am also the person who's flying domestic. I am staying in a quote standard room because I don't typically need a room inside of a room, right? That's how I travel. Lonnie wants the room I got in San Diego, which was great. It had a 8-person dining table in the room. It was wonderful.
And a 4-car garage. That's what I need. That's the hotel room I need.
It was. I had a view of the bay while I was watching football. It was great. Watching football on Monday night at that time was weird, but neither here nor there. But it depends on how you try. If you're fine with a standard room, that's going to change your points math, right? If you have to get a premium room because you have a partner or kids or whatever, your points math is different. So yeah, it's going to be harder to find those redemptions. If you can go with a standard room, your points math is different, right? We're all traveling in different ways. I am not going to get on a flight that's probably not at least Comfort Plus at the bare minimum. First class is how I book. If something goes wrong, I have taken a Comfort Plus flight because I don't have any other options other than canceling. But like, on the outside, I'm not getting on a plane that's not first class, which means that's going to change how I do my redemptions or how I buy my tickets. Other people, Josh from our Discord that we talk about all the time, is middle seat back of the plane. And he is, you know what? He's fine with it. I don't know how he's fine with it. I still think he's booking first class and just taking a picture before everybody else gets on the plane, but conspiracy theories are fun. So yeah, so it becomes this thing where it depends on what you want out of the cards. It depends on what you want out of your redemptions. Points are not my focus. Perks are my focus. Points are something I accumulate and then use sporadically. So for me, most of the time it's fine. So it really is going to be your mileage may vary no matter how much we want to make those generalizations.
No, that's completely fair. For me, I also don't. I understand the excessive devaluations or the feeling of excessive devaluations or cards changing a ton, and you've got transfer partners, Chase losing transfer partners like Emirates or American Express accepting lower transfer ratios for Emirates and now Cathay Pacific. So I can understand the concern. I do think answering on the last part with regard to do you see other strategies in the points game with this landscape? You can, if you're already booking through alliance partnerships or partner airlines, I don't necessarily book JetBlue with JetBlue points, right? You could book JetBlue with Etihad points, or you could book JetBlue with United points or with whoever's points. Making your focus pouring into those partners because those partners could have wider transfer partner availability and you can jump into new ecosystems if you so choose. You can widen your ecosystem play if you have to, at least temporarily, to get a major redemption or two done along the way. And you can go that way. Other ways would be maximizing your return with things like stacking up, getting cash back in addition to the points that you're earning on your purchases. Utilizing Rakuten if you want to get into, if you're in the Bilt or American Express ecosystems. Utilizing Rove if you want to expand into other ecosystems. Utilizing Top Cash Back on top of whatever else you're doing. The shopping portals are going to become more and more of a play to help you expand and squeeze out a little extra value in your day-to-day life. Looking at something like Upgrade, shout out to the Rewards Master who uses Upgrade a ton. I've used it here and there. I've only gotten about $10 in return. Some of the rules got a little too complex, but you can definitely make a bunch of things work for you as needed. And so you don't have to just worry about the points return. If that's you don't have to worry too much about the points return if you don't have to. Sorry, my train of thought went off. So I don't think you're going to be better off with no annual fee cashback cards. I do think that's just a way that you can maximize your return a little bit if you're gardening or if you're like feeling burnt, just earning some cash back and then utilizing that cash back later to purchase points where you want to go can be useful, or build up a little stash along the way. That can certainly work in your favor. But I get the pain. I just think that there's like some other ways that you can approach some of those strategies, especially when it comes to squeezing out a little extra value along the way. Rakuten for membership reward points and Bilt points, as I said. A Top Cash Back for some extra cash along the way. Swag bucks if you're into swag bucks as a thing. But making every purchase count and making every purchase count double, or if you can, even triple, certainly a way to go about things. So definitely some extra ways to pull some extra blood from the turnip along the way. Any final thoughts here? All right. We'll move to our next question. Comes from MR. What are your plans? Oh, sorry. Yeah. What are your plans for 2026, both for... Oh, this is from Juan Miamic. Sorry. What are your plans for 2026, both for your channel and this channel for everyone? RJ.
I have a channel, so that was a plan that came together. But yeah, I'm working on the CSR video. I have the script done. I've had the flu for 3 weeks. So talking has been a challenge without having to stop and cough. You will see me go off camera a lot tonight because I am blowing my nose, and you all don't need to see that. Just being able to get through a video without having to stop or my voice going weird has been a bit of a challenge, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. For SYP, we're gonna have merch this year. We're gonna have merch. It's gonna happen. We just have to do it, or I have to do it and get everything set up. There's a lot of really bad sites to do merch on, and I'm trying to find the not bad sites to do merch on that don't have contract clauses hidden in there that are like terrible that people don't know about until something happens. So I'm working on that. But otherwise, we will have. I want to go on a trip and wear a shirt that says "My travel day is sacred." That is my goal for 2026. If I have a New Year's resolution, it is that. So we're going to have merch. But yeah, just grow my channel and get some Stack Your Points merch.
There we go.
I want a t-shirt that says, I didn't actually pay for this trip.
I think we can make that happen too.
I have a feeling at least something is going to have my silly face on it in this hoodie.
There will be a matter clause. There will.
Or a t-shirt that says, I paid less than you did for this trip. I think that would be a really fun shirt to wear around on vacation.
I think we can make some options.
Yeah.
For sure.
I got to work on merch for my site. Lonnie, your plans for 2026, both for this channel and yours?
This channel, I want to see hit 1K in 2026. We've been sitting in the 600s for a little too long, so hit that share button. Don't even hit and subscribe. Just go. Let's just hit the share button. Let everybody tell 2 people and tell those people to tell 2 people. Let's get to 1,000 on this channel. That's where I would like this channel to go. Other than that, I think we're in a really good spot on what we're doing on this channel. So continuing to work closely together and just keep providing good content that y'all are interested in hearing. Outside of that, my channel, man, I don't even know where I'm going with my channel because as I had discussed late last year, I switched jobs. I left my old company, started at a new company, which is still great. It's just I set new boundaries when I made that transition where I prioritized my family and life after a certain time of day on the weekends. And because of that, I don't have the same amount of time as I had before to write a new script or record a new script or edit a video, which is one of the reasons why my videos start coming out a little bit slower. And so for me, I would like to get back on a cadence, on a more consistent schedule for my subscribers and viewers. So even if it's just one video a month, what's coming out on that one day or whatever, call it first day of the month, whatever it happens to be. Just provide some consistency to my particular audience. Other than that, I have held strong for my members. I do members only Monday. I drop one every Monday, no matter what. Like today and last week, while I was out and about and on the move, didn't even add a thumbnail when I made sure to upload that video. Made sure to upload that video in Vegas because I want to stay consistent with that. So yeah, outside of that, growing my members only ecosystem, I get a lot of joy behind that members only paywall, the conversations, the topics that we talk about there.
There we go. And Craig.
Yeah, so I actually have 2 goals. The first is to be a better steward of the Stack Your Points channel. I feel to Lonnie's point about the share, right? Like I do a lot of word of mouth sharing. Oddly enough, while we were at the Pindery for our anniversary in December, convinced somebody to downgrade to the CSP and get a platinum and come in. I think that person's in our Discord now, but just doing more of that, right? And convincing the people that I talk to that my podcast is not me in my actually I am in my basement, but me, a random person in my basement in my underwear. I have underwear, but I'm not in my underwear. Just randomly recording words, but there's actually value into it. It is a factual statement that I am wearing underwear, but I have shorts on over this underwear. Thus, I am not just in my underwear, Matt. I don't need the video, okay? Lonnie is giving me all types of looks. I get it. I understand. I'm out of practice. I haven't recorded it in quite some time, guys.
And Craig has killed Lonnie.
And then for my personal channel, I have a post up. I had every intentions of having a video up recapping my Costa Rica trip. As you all will find out later in this podcast, it has been a hell of a start to 2026. So that is why I have not uploaded anything. Not an excuse, but an explanation. And I think this is a valid explanation as to why my channel has been a little bit suffering over the last few weeks.
Before you get to your story, we're going to need a spoiler break, because we are going to have to cut that, and it's going to be its own separate video. We're still going to talk about it in this episode, but we're also going to cut it and make it a whole little separate video.
I'm here for it.
It even caught me off guard. I was on my iPad. Yo, Craig, what WTF, bro?
Dude, when I tell you we went from strikes at work to having to deal with...
Save it.
You're right.
Don't pull a Matt. Save it.
You're right. Sorry, Matt. Okay, I'm done.
Jeez.
And that's the title of our episode.
All right, fine. So for my channel, I would really like to get to 3,000 subscribers sooner than later. I'm sitting at 526 more to go. So 2,400, just under 2,500, and I would like to hit 3,000 sooner than later. So that's definitely one big thing there. We've got the built announcement coming out on Wednesday. We've got a couple other probably big things that will lead to big pushes for news and me to flaunt my opinion, such as it is, and let people interact with it in the next couple of months. So there's going to be an Amex Green refresh at some point this year, probably. So that'll give me some stuff to work off of. There will probably be HSF, our preferred refresh this year. That'll give me some stuff to work off of. It's entirely possible Chase puts in a card between the Sapphire Preferred and the Sapphire Reserve, because a near $600 Delta is not going to be good. But this is all speculation, obviously. There'll be other news events to cover along the way. I'm still going to keep doing tidbits as best I can. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to do tidbits. Sometimes I try, as long as there's at least 3 stories, there will be tidbits, but trying to make sure that there's 3 stories worth talking about. I'll mix in lives and stuff like that. For the channel, helping with the merch, definitely be a good idea. I probably will try and get at least one piece of merch out for my channel this year as well. Probably a t-shirt. T-shirts seem to be the easiest. I'd also like to do a hoodie, not like this sort of hoodie, but a hoodie would be cool. Something that will have my likeness, and I can put subscribe on the back, have the word subscribe on my back, and go from there. So merch, growing my channel, getting this channel to 1,000, all that jazz would be great. And hitting 3,000 subscribers, ideally we can go past 3,000, maybe get closer to 4,000 by the end of the year. That would be sweet. But I got to do it organic, got to do it right. So just keep chipping away. There we go. All right, let's move over to our next question. Comes from MR, who says, I have the top tier card for both Hilton and Delta, the Aspire and the Delta Reserve. I plan on going deeper and getting a second card with one of them. What should my next choice be? This coming from MR. Craig, I'll throw to you on this one first.
Yeah. So despite me having my spat with Hilton a few months ago about the devaluations at the highest tier, with their points. I still think Hilton is a fantastic brand, right? I still like their programs. Also, if I was still doing the same amount of work travel as I was previously, or personal even, I would be going for Hilton Diamond Reserve this year. It is much easier to get than Marriott Ambassador, just because it's $5 grand less that you have to spend, and there's not a real night point or night system there. You can just do 40 stays, which could just be 40 separate nights. Also, putting this out there, this plays into the role of you can still get a bonus on the other Hilton cards. You can still get a bonus on a Surpass. You can get a bonus on a free annual card for Hilton. And the Hilton cards are really good spending cards. I really like the idea of spending and just having a single card set up with a Hilton Surpass, right? Like it covers your gas, your groceries, your online purchases. It's a decent catch-all card. Also, and Space Co. I love you. Haven't talked to you in a few weeks. I'll be in the Discord soon. I don't care what you say. That Hilton Free Night Award is still fantastic. And at 15K, if that is your primary card for spending, it's not a hard swing to take at, right? Even if you wanted to say, hey, I want to do multiple spending, upgrade it to a second Hilton Aspire, and then you have 3 free night awards. Spend another 15 grand, now you have 4. I really love the Hilton. I personally think outside of the IHG cards, Hilton credit cards are the best hotel cards in the entire business, right? For multipliers, from perks, I think that they are fantastic. On the flip side of that, I think the Delta Reserve is the best Delta card. Usually, just because something is the most expensive doesn't always mean it's the best. Because I would argue that the Hilton Surpass, if you are not a luxury traveler, is a better card than the Hilton Aspire. But for most people, Hilton Aspire is a better card because of the status. But I would argue that the Delta Reserve is the better card. Most people, if you're going to be putting spend on Delta cards, you will spend your way to status much faster with the Delta Reserve than you will a Delta Platinum. And if you are already deep enough in the Delta Reserve, Delta ecosystem, it's not like getting a gold is really going to help you, right? Like, also, if you have a player 2, and RJ can attest to this one, not all the time will the companion pass on the Platinum get you a first class seat. And so if you're already spending $650 on a credit card, I'm going to assume that you are a luxury traveler. So my vote is Hilton cards, just purely from the value proposition. And even despite them having at the higher end a devalued point value, at the entry and econo and mid tier properties, it hasn't really changed. So you can still get a really nice Hilton night somewhere between 40 and 70,000 points a night. And if you're staying for 5 nights, that's 4. You only need points for 4 nights. So my vote is a Hilton Surpass.
Okay. RJ?
Hilton Surpass. End of story. Like, you should not get another. The only reason you should have 2 Delta Reserves is if you have use of 2 companion passes. There's no reason to have 2 otherwise, right? Like, I use both companion passes. I also use the MQD boost, but if I didn't have use of that other companion pass, it's not worth it for the boost, right? So if you can't use 2 companion passes, it doesn't matter. Getting the platinum, again, if you can't use 2 companion passes, doesn't matter. The gold does nothing for you, the reserve doesn't do. The blue is a downgrade path and nothing more. So the Delta cards are either get another reserve or you're good. If you have the Aspire, the Surpass, I really think that if you get an Aspire, you should just be issued a Surpass too, because they're so complementary to each other. And the credit on the Aspire is only for the resorts. It's not for any other Hilton hotels. So the $50 credit on the Surpass is going to cover your hotels where the other will cover the resorts. You could do the Hilton business if you have a business, but again, business cards are something that you have to go in with your eyes open at least. Not saying don't have a business and get on, I'm just saying know what you're getting into. That would be the only other card other than the Surpass, and I think the Surpass is probably a better bet in general for most people. Surpass.
Yeah, if spend is your concern and maximizing your point return, Hilton Surpass for sure. If you are just looking for MQD Head Start and to buy your way into status, I would say if you wanted to pair a card with the Delta Reserve, the Delta Platinum would also get you that 2,500 point that 2,500 MQD Head Start for $350. Slightly better earner, but not great for MQD accumulation in terms of spend, because the Platinum is $20. Every $20 is one MQD, whereas the Reserve is $10 equals an MQD. But you're still going to be stuck with 2 companion passes if you did both of those cards. If you're looking to spend and generate points that way, Hilton Surpass would be a great addition to the Aspire. You get the $200 in Hilton credits every quarter. You get the $200 in Hilton credits broken up every quarter. Let me not say you get $200 a quarter, because that would be far too amazing a deal. And I could look past all of my issues that I have with Hilton at $200 a quarter for sure. If it's a status play, buying status outright, buying Delta Silver is not a bad play if that's what you want to do. If you've already accumulated the Delta Silver and I know MR tends to do a good amount of travel on Delta. So if they've already accumulated status past gold, I don't know how much the MQD boost on a second card is really going to do for them. So I would go probably getting a second card with one of them. I would probably just go over to the Hilton Surpass if status isn't an issue. Yeah, I don't know what the aim for that card is offhand, but status play, Delta Platinum instead of a second Delta Reserve. If you're going just for accumulating points, Hilton Surpass. Lonnie, your thoughts here?
I think y'all pretty much wrap this one up in a nice little bow, but with the Hilton Aspire, you guys touched on the Delta Reserve, doubling up on that pretty heavily, but I don't even think you need to double dip on an Aspire. Now, I understand that there are some persons and families that can definitely use a Hilton Aspire. For $550, if you can burn those credits organically, then yeah, go ahead and spend another $550 for it. But if you're just doing it for the one free night certificate, then it's not worth it. And then I'd even go as far to say, don't even go with the Surpass. Go down to the Honors. Honors and Surpass are not too far off, especially the main difference is another $15K and you get another free night certificate.
Yeah.
If you're only going to spend $15K to get one, so you can get 2 free night certificates, one from the Aspire, the $15K from the Surpass, then yeah. If you're actually going to be able to hit that $30K, $60K, but you're not going to get the $15K on the Surpass, just get the Honors at that point. And that's my particular 2 cents on it. Now, other than that, I would say figure out what's best for you. For anybody that knows me, knows I hate telling people what to do. So iron it out and figure out what's best for you. It sounds like you're in a really good spot with some really good options. But if I were in your position, I'd probably double dip on Hilton with one of the 3, depending on your situation. Well, that's just me though, because as Craig said, Hilton works, man. Hilton works. Yeah, especially if you don't have that diamond status with them, then yeah, get the Aspire. But if you already got like a platinum card or any other card that gives you gold status with them, it's not worth it. You can't get diamonds twice.
Yeah, and the multiplier difference is only 1 point per dollar on gas, grocery, restaurants.
Yeah.
And The Surpass has 1 extra point for online purchases.
Yep.
Who cares? But you are spending $150. You're getting that $200 in credits back, and you are getting the spend the 15K, get the free night certificate, which is nice.
150. I understand it's 150 for the year, but still 150 is still 150. 150 is how much it costs every time you leave the house. Think about it.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, no, the honors can definitely be, if price is a concern for you, the honors can definitely be a great way to work it. So
price is never a concern until you get that comma in your annual fees. And then you start thinking differently.
Much closer to the comma than I was. Oh no, I'm past the comma now. Oops. All right. So our next question comes from AP, who asks, you get some extremely reliable information that Built is about to pull a Mesa and fold. Impossible, but let's keep playing. You have 2 days to move 100,000 Built points you've accumulated. You have no unaccounted for travel plans. Where do you send those points? What do you do with them? I will go to the resident Built holder in Lonnie for the first answer on this one.
Very easy one. What am I planning for, and what could I easily use those points for? Or something I have planned for that I could instantly apply those points towards. So easy. Transfer them to United, transfer them to Marriott, transfer them to Hilton, call it a day.
Nope. Okay. So you'd break it up 33K each. Got it.
No, I'm just saying if I need to get a flight, I'm going to transfer them all to United, all 100 of them. If I want to book with Hilton, I'm sitting on a couple free night certificates right now, or if I want to book with my points, a standard room still starts at $90K. I mean, for the bougie spots that I like to stay at, the Conrads and the Waldorfs, that is.
You'd be surprised the rooms that go for $90K.
All the Conrads I'm interested in on this globe are still at $90K. So y'all ain't gonna jinx me. Y'all can say what y'all want about the Maldives and the Ritz and all that, but guess what? I wasn't going there anyway, so I don't really care that they cost more points.
I've seen Hampton Inn for 90.
I've seen Conrad for 90.
I got to find that Conrad because
I will give you the short list.
Ooh.
Anyway,
I'll take it.
Anyway, at least the Conrads I want to stay at are still 90. See, I'm staying at the one in Tokyo, actually. And guess how much? 90.
That's a wonderful Conrad. I've been there. You're going to love it.
I plan to, because I am bougie. Anyway, but yeah, just burn them, churn them, get rid of them. I'm not gonna do anything weird with them. I'm not gonna redeem them for a gift card. Just send them over to one of my preferred partners. Hilton. We just burned talking about Hilton, and you already know United, so it's easily to say I can just park them over there and I'll be fine. Use them or don't use them. I know I'll eventually use my United miles.
There we go. Craig, you have it on very good authority. Built's about to fold. You got 100,000 points to burn immediately, or else you'll lose them forever. Where are they going?
I actually just looked it up to see how many points I had in my United account. I'm going 60,000 to United and 40,000 to Alaska. I went against my better judgment and I flew a lot of United in December, and I loved it. That's the worst part. But I need to refill that bucket there, and then Alaska miles. I've got a couple 100,000 still left in there, and it's always just really nice to have those because they're still somewhat on a travel kind of bracket. I cannot think of what the word is. Hilton Hyatt has one. I'm so sorry. A war chart. It has been so long since I've talked to you folks. My brain has not been able to think about points and miles. I'm so sorry. But yeah, no, Alaska is still one of the few places that are still somewhat on a distance-based award chart. And so it's just always really nice to have a few extra points there. But for the most part, I know I won't be keeping United status, but having those extra miles will help me maintain my gold. Is it gold status? Whatever status I have. So yeah, no. Actually, I do have one gripe. Lonnie, why is it that every single person boards in group 1?
I pre-board.
Okay, 30% of the flight was pre-board. 50% of the flight was
5% of the flight.
darn near, Matt.
I have talked about this before. United has a status problem, especially in their major hubs, where a good chunk pre-boards. Now, that's why, you know what? Let's go back to Thick Boy's question about devaluations and whatnot. United has made it harder to get United status because so many people have 1K.
It was funny. We were flying first class to DC in December, and then we went to Chicago. Did not matter.
Nope.
Half of the plane was on there and sitting in extra leg room or in economy. And literally, Lonnie, I think probably 25-30% of the plane was 1K or global services. And then another, I thought having gold status, I was like, oh yeah, we're going to get group 1. That's going to be awesome. Did not matter.
Nope.
They don't care.
Does not matter.
By the time I got on the plane, every bin was already full.
There's so many people that have 1K in platinum status. And platinum status automatically gets you group 1 boarding as well. Where, almost half of the plane. And if it's like a fully packed plane, I always love hearing them when they're like, yo, if you're in like group 3 or beyond and you got to carry on, just come up and get your green tag. You're not getting spot.
You're not getting a bin.
And Craig and I have talked about this before as well. We're both tall enough where we need to kick our leg out. So my backpack, even if I don't have a carry-on bag, it's going up top. And if I got a carry-on bag, that's also going up top. And if I got on a coat coming and have to travel through cold weather, guess where that's going? So I'm that guy that takes up at least 2 spaces. I will put my coat on top of my stuff. I'm not going to take up 3 spaces, but I will take up 2 if I have to. But my backpack always goes up. And I know they say save them for last. Nah, I ain't going to save it.
You should have had better status and should have got on the plane.
I earned my spot to put my backpack up top.
Also, my backpack touches my body. I don't know what's been on this floor. Sorry, Matt. That was a very long answer to that question, but 60-40.
No, quite all right. 60-40, got it. United showcasing when everyone has status, no one has status.
No, you still have status. You just have status with everyone else. That's pre-boarding.
You all have. None of you are global services. None of you are important.
Right. United is when everybody has status. You don't have status. That's what that one means.
Yeah, pretty much.
They treat their loyalists very well, and I'm happy about it.
That's fair. RJ, let's play in the hypothetical for you because I know.
So
100,000 points, where are they going?
I have the answer that I probably would do, and then I have the answer that I might do and would piss everybody off. Which one would you like?
Let's go for the drama.
Okay. So I am on upgradedpoints.com because I actually had to look up Built transfer partners because I don't have Built. And it's saying that there is a 5,000 point bonus when you're transferring 20,000 points to Marriott. Nice. So if I were to transfer 100,000 points, I would get an extra 25,000 points because I would do it in 2,000 point chunks to get the bonus. 20,000. So I would get 125,000 points at Marriott, which I could turn into 41,667 Delta miles.
All right.
I would turn 100,000 Built points into 41,667 Delta miles. I could just turn them into IHG, fine, but I might as well move them over to Delta. I'm very low, as in 0 on Delta miles right now because I just did a redemption, so why not?
Okay. And what would be and IHG would be the less controversial answer?
IHG would be the one that if I wanted to, if they said you can only do one, if you got your 100,000 points, you can only move it one place, I would just move it to IHG.
That's fair. I would throw all 100,000 either at United or Hyatt. I am bland, I'm boring, I'm whatever. 100,000 United miles would be a nice way to kickstart some United stuff for me. Or I could do a couple of JetBlue bookings through United and accumulate points and status with both of those airlines at the same time. Make sure that my JetBlue number is associated with any airline United flights that I'm doing, and rack up some flights that way. If I do 100,000 over to Hyatt, it's 100,000 Hyatt points. Isn't that where everybody just parks their built points anyway? Or I'm sorry, not everybody but Lonnie parks their built points anyway. Yeah, there's no way on this planet that I would be moving my points, 100,000 built points, to IHG, Hilton, or Marriott. I could throw them over to Accor. It wouldn't be great, but I could do that if I so chose. Airline wise, yeah, you're going to get the most bang for your buck with like Atmos, but I'm more likely just to throw 100,000 points either at United or Hyatt. It's just the easiest way to go. It's the path of least resistance. As we know, resistance is futile. Indeed. Although Star Wars is all about resistance, so there's that. All right. Thanks, AP, for that. We'll go to Keith for our last question. Keith asks, in a world where most credit card enthusiasts have an airline, hotel, and even lower annual fee ultimate reward dining card, where does the Sapphire Reserve fit in? This card used to be an earner with its 3x broad travel category, and now it's basically a second-tier platinum card that you pull out for one of their 7 domestic Sapphire lounges and travel protections on bookings. Even some of their credits have caveats that make them unusable for many people. Apple One. Keith then goes on to explain how he plans on using his Sapphire Reserve and that they need to fix the $300 dining credit and the $500 edit credit. Again, don't disagree with those. They did make one fix to the edit credit. I still think making a $500 on a 2-night stay and just being done with it would be fine. But anyway, neither here nor there. Craig, I'll throw to you first on this one. Where does the Sapphire Reserve now fit in?
I think the Sapphire Reserve fits in really wonderfully for somebody that travels to New York, DC, or any other Sapphire Lounge location. I burned almost all my Sapphire credits in Chicago, with which there's no Sapphire Lounge in Chicago. But we used the edit, we used our Sapphire dining. I still personally like the Sapphire card. Let's be quite realistic. Hotels, flights, and food are going to be your 3 usually biggest expenses when you're traveling, or for the most part as you are going out to adventure and meander. Sapphire also still has some really wonderful protections, both from purchase protection, travel protections. So I think the Sapphire is still a really great card. Since my wife and I aren't traveling nearly as much this year, and RJ, don't yell at me, but we're more than likely going to do some ghost stays, or actually, not ghost stays. We're doing just some staycations, which we're considering mattress runs at a local Marriott because I can get a room for $100. But my Brilliant's more than likely getting downgraded to the $95 annual fee. My Aspire is going the way of the dodo for the no annual fee card. Most of my like high end cards are more than likely getting downgraded, with exception of the Platinum and with exception of the Sapphire. And that's just because outside of niche specific travel situations, they provide me the most value out of my annual fee cards. Yes, you will find a lot more value in having a high volume travel in airports with Sapphire lounges, but I think it's disingenuous of us to say that the Sapphire is just a bad card. Did I prefer the way it was before with 3x travel? Absolutely. Let's not get confused. I think it is a downgrade from what it was previously, but I find more usage and value in it in its current form now for me than it was previously. I still prefer the old and I think I have the card on me right now, actually. I still have the old version of the design because I think that it's superior and I won't upgrade it or request a new one until it comes in. But I still like my Sapphire card. The other thing, too, that I'll say that bothers me about the Sapphire card that I think is a different critique than just saying I miss the old thing is yes, it has become a platinum-esque card, but the platinum works for a reason. If the credits don't fit you, it's probably just not for you, right? Like I was talking to somebody and they said, "Who shops at Lululemon?" Me. Who wants to go and do fine dining or go to these places? Me and my wife. I'm gonna tell you, like, I am the one person that's gonna go and do I want to probably get a burger afterwards because I'm still a little hungry, or we'll eat before? Absolutely. But am I gonna go and do a 30 course, 1 teaspoon each course fine dining experience? Yeah. And it's not just because the food's delicious. Yeah, it's delicious, but I like the experience of it, right? And so that is the lifestyle that I choose to live. I'm probably, when he is not having temper tantrums and I can trust him to not throw a fine dining egg at the waiter, to take my son with me too, right? I want him to experience certain things. I'll speak for yourself, man. That little man's gonna eat caviar and like it. Take that
I
gold
do
flake,
not.
sprinkle it.
I do not trust my little one. Nope.
No, man, you got to make him sprinkle the gold flakes on the mac and cheese. But yeah, like I just think that we, as credit card enthusiasts, assume that every card is for us, and it's not. Prime example for me, and this was a card that I had to realize was fantastic for a lot of people, and it's just a dud. The U.S. Altitude Reserve, even before they changed it, was just a complete other waste of time for me and my wife. Thought it was going to be awesome because it could simplify things. Was a waste, right? And I think the Sapphire now is a waste of time for a lot of people, but it doesn't mean it's a bad card.
That's fair. Lonnie is the other Sapphire Reserve holder. Where does it fit?
I am figuring it out. My annual fee just hit because I'm one of those people that got pushed over until January, and I have mentioned this before that hey, I'll give it a year. If we want to start counting credits, I can make $7.95 work in credits. You know what I mean? Do I like them? No, I totally agree with you on the Apple One thing. I think it's just stupid that you're going to give us $20 in credits for two things where you could give us $20 in credits and we could get four. And now, because of those two, I can't get all four unless I double pay. It's stupid. I totally agree with that. Someone dropped the ball. Someone did not think on that one. But
what they could get, and more will come.
Yeah, I also agree with Craig when the travel stuff before it got nerfed was great. That was what made it its keeper card. Now I still get the $300 travel credit, of course, which is fine. It still works, and I like it. But what they ended up doing, and not to repeat Craig, but they made it a lifestyle card. It was a legit travel card. It was a legit premium card that had a purpose on when you used it, how you used it, when you swiped it, when you tapped it. And now it's been MX'd, if you will. And the thing is that I can easily say, oh, they just made it as a chase version of a MX Platinum. But I was fine when I had one lifestyle card in my wallet. I don't need two. And I'm going to find out in 2026 if I need to. Now, the problem is because I've had my new Amex card for so long, which makes 100% total sense. The refresh actually made it better for me than it was before. If I had to lose one, I would have to lose my Sapphire because I'm not letting go of the Amex anymore. That Platinum's going to stay with me. It actually got better where the Reserve got worse. Or less. I'm not going to say worse. It did get less because I travel so much. That 3X on travel was a huge win, and I won't have that anymore. I actually don't have any card that gives me 3X on travel anymore. And no, I don't want a green card, RJ. Even though it makes sense, but I just don't want to add another $150 to my annual fee total every single year. The number's high enough. The number is high enough. I won't say it's a bad card, but it is a lesser card. And it just takes time for me to figure that out. We all have cards in our wallet where we probably only use for maybe one thing. It might be a $0 annual fee card. It could be an MX Gold card where you might not use it for anything except for grocery and then just burn all your credits. But you only use it one time for grocery, maybe in dining, I should say. Grocery and dining, if you will. It's okay. But Chase has made it a card that I probably won't swipe as much. Like, I'm not going to use it as my transit card. That's what my Purple United card is now. It probably won't use it as my dining card unless I need Chase points. I mean, obviously, it can be Chase points or Amex points or Hilton points, whatever points I need. My dining card always changes. But it's not killed, but I understand why so many people are like, it's no longer for them. Because they changed it so much where this card is no longer for me. It's valid. But if you're using it as a travel/transit card, man, that's valid. Especially if you're someone that's paying out of pocket outside of Chase's travel portal for a flight every now and then, for your hotel every now and then. I guess hotel still there's 4X at minimum. But for your Lyft, your Uber, your Waymo, your taxis, your subway rides, your train rides. Like, I was making so many points just on that. That was my go-to card. And all that's gone. So now I have to see what life is in this new version. I don't want to necessarily just throw it away because of they changed something and I lost one thing. They'd also gained a couple of things as well. I just need to figure it out. But is it a bad card? No. But I need to figure out, is it still a card for me? And I'm going to do that here in 2026. Like I said, I just paid my annual fee. I know I still have to the end of the month to cancel it and get that money back, but probably not going to. I want to see what it's like for the year. And if it doesn't hold value, that takes $795 off that annual fee number every year. Now, who knows what they're going to do with the preferred? Maybe they add transit to that and then save me some money, spend less, make more scenario. Who knows? We'll see.
One statement that Keith makes as part of his addendums was the CSR used to be a must carry card. Now it's become a must cancel card for most holders. We're pretty close to the 6-month mark. And people still have the same feelings about the card. The new narrative about the card is sticking. Do either of you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I understand where it comes from. But once again, that depends on the person, the person that has to use it. And so many people can talk about, like I had just rambled on about the transit, which is one of the ways that I made so many parking garages, lifts, and all that other stuff. And yes, I know I still get the Lyft promo. It's not 10x like it used to be, 10x plus 2 or 10x plus 3 like it used to be, but it's still there. Let's call it what it is. But most of us decide the value of a card on what we can get back out of it. And if you can, like, it didn't have a dining credit before. Let's just call it what it is. I'm gonna leave that one off the table. But I still had it. Always had the $300 travel credit. That's still there, so we can take that off the $800. It didn't have $500 in edit credits before. It does now. So 300 plus 500 is 800, which is 5 more than 795. And I know I can use those edit credits. I use Apple TV. I don't necessarily use Apple Music because I have YouTube Premium, but you know what? They are already paying for it anyway. I'm going to take it. So we're not going to count that second 10, but the Apple TV is something I've always subscribed to. You're now saving me $120 a year that I was paying for anyway. You see what I'm saying? So it's not the same card, but it still provides me value. And that's what I mean. Like, I need to live with it this year because it might not be the card I carry in my wallet to actually tap somewhere, pay somewhere, swipe somewhere. Even when I was in Vegas last week, it actually felt weird of me, like, going into my big my big wallet where I keep all my extra cards, my little wallet that I carry, and my pocket only has 1 or 2 cards in it, to actually grab that card and put it in my wallet so I can go to a restaurant to use those Chase dining credits. It was like, man, where you been? I ain't seen you in a while. How your mama doing, Chase Reserve? You know what I mean? Versus go back to some of my previous videos. I would actually say, I don't leave the house without this card. I think I even said in one video, I walk my dog with this card. And then they changed it, and it went when the stack, if you will, the sock drawer. And I haven't really needed it outside of a digital format in any way, shape, or form. We have to look at it in its current form. We don't need to compare it to what it used to be. You need to look at it what it is now. They are not the same card. They are two different cards. The old card is done. It's over. That's it. It's gone. So yeah, we just got to let that go. Just let it go. The old card is done. We don't need to talk about it. We don't need to reminisce about it. We don't need to pull it up in your Google Photos. None of it. It's done. This is what we got today. How are you going to use it today? And if you can't use it today, then yeah, it's a must cancel card. And I think that's where Keith is coming from, where a lot of people are like, now I have to cancel it because they were so used to the way that they used it that now it literally does not provide them value anymore. With all the credits and all that other stuff, they probably weren't using before, so it's definitely not valuable now. But the way that the old card was valuable. So we got to look at it as it in its current form today and see if that provides you value in whatever way you define your value. And so I understand why a lot of people are like, it's no longer worth it, especially when you can get a lot of that stuff somewhere else. You don't need 4 hotel credits, 2 from Platinum, 2 from Chase. The majority of folks aren't using or staying in hotels where they can use that. Yeah, it's nice to have a $250 or $300 credit, but those edits and those FHRs, those ain't $250, $300 rooms. Those folks ain't trying to pay for that anyway. Those are the same folks that are like, I got my Surpass card and I need to go find a Hilton for $50. They're not looking for those rooms. And so I understand where the edit stuff, not great. I still find it great because I actually use it. That enhanced for me. See what I'm saying? So you got to look at it from a different lens, if you will.
And the change from semi-annual to back will make where you go to the beginning of the year significantly easier going forward.
Yeah. The fact that I don't need to plan around 6 months timelines like I do. I'm always 6 months ahead on my Platinum card. Got to use that 300. Then I have another Hilton Aspire card that has another 200 on there. Good thing I can double dip on those. We can talk about that later. But with Chase, I don't need to worry about that. I just need to make 2 stays at any given time, and I'm good, which is a relief, especially for me when it comes to some of the things that I plan and how I plan.
Craig, any other thoughts on the must carry to must cancel?
No, I will be downgrading more than likely my card this year. That's also because I'm not taking 70 flights this year to Philly or New York or DC. But I stand by the CSR being a good card. The way that I used it last year, I could have not taken a single credit and I still would have come out ahead. And that is purely because that Sapphire Lounge in Philadelphia is sensational. And I would give you $795 a year just for membership for that. If I could pay for a membership to the Sapphire Lounges without having the card, I'd be signed up immediately.
There's also one in Las Vegas, but United's in Terminal 3, Sapphire Lounge is in Terminal 1. I know it's just a tram ride. You don't got to make the walk, but I wasn't making no walk.
RJ even pretty well filibustered.
That's never going to change for me. I'm not making that walk.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you see where the CSR can fit in?
Yeah, any card can fit in. Like Custom Cash can fit in, the Aspire can fit in, the Autograph can fit in. Like it depends on who you are. I think, look, I have an emotional support green card, and I still think people get too wrapped up in their credit cards and canceling their credit cards. Like, they make it a defining feature of their personality to not cancel certain credit cards because they hold them, and it's silly. Like, it just is. If a card doesn't work for you and you want to get rid of it, just get rid of it. It's not a moral failing that you can't figure out how to make the CSR work for you. It's not a moral failing that the Altitude Reserve doesn't work for you anymore. It's not a moral failing that like the Aspire just doesn't fit with you. These cards are not like indicators of morality or travel acumen or whatever. They're tools. And if that tool doesn't work for you, it's okay to downgrade or cancel. Like, you don't have to justify it as like this card is bad. Like, we see it in media criticism all the time, right? If somebody doesn't like something, it is not enough in some circles just not to like it. You have to find a reason it's bad. Like, you have to find the creator did something 15 years ago, or the actor did a thing, or they didn't give to this cause, or they didn't tweet about that cause, or whatever, right? Like, you can't just not like something. And it seems, and this is not a criticism towards Keith, this is more of a general community thing of the community can't just let a card go. A person can't just downgrade or cancel a card. They have to feel like they have to project why. And it can't just be this card doesn't fit my life anymore. It has to be there's something wrong with the card. The card was taken from me. The Altitude Reserve was taken from me maliciously, right? Like, it can't just be the bank changed it. It doesn't work for me. I'm going to cancel the card. Oh, like, I get it. You lost something simple. If you had the CSR and you don't have that simplicity of 3x travel, like, that sucks. I'm sorry. There are other ways for you to live your life with some amount of simplicity. There just are. Might be in a different ecosystem. It might be in the same ecosystem and just doing things differently. Like, flights and hotels, you get more than 3x. You can go through the portal and get that, right? Like, you can do other things. Yes, if you're doing cruises and stuff like that, you're definitely going to have to find a different way. Absolutely. Guess what? United has the ability to do certain things. If you stay certain ways, I'm up to almost $8,000 when before I've even hit my MQD boost in travel through Delta. So I'm almost to platinum for Delta by April when I take the last of my 4 planned trips because I use the portal and that gives me a return that I want, right? So there are ways around the fact that you don't have 3x travel anymore. You can go to Amex, get the green card. It's my emotional support green card. I have said that. If I could get a plushie that was just the green card, I would. Maybe I will find a way to make an anthropomorphized green card that is not Amex related enough for us to be sued over it. Like, I adore that card for a bunch of weird one-offs. I am willing to eat the 150 to do that because I get enough back where it doesn't matter, right? But Lonnie's not. And guess what? He's not better or worse than me for not having the green card. It just, my life it fits, his life it doesn't. That's all. It's okay. Like, we have to stop connecting who we are as people to the credit cards we carry. Unless you carry 17 custom caches, and then you've got a problem, man. We'll put the rehab number down below.
No, straight to jail.
Not even rehab, just jail.
Padded room immediately.
Okay.
Also, if I could add one extra thing. So the nerf or the devaluation, whatever you want to call it, with points boost, which is only on select things, by the way. You can still get 2.0. I looked it up the other day for my Hawaii trip. 2.0. 2 cents per point in points boost. But anyway, maybe I'm just looking out between Conrad and points boost. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, it's not guaranteed, but you are getting. There's still plenty of places you can get to.
Yeah, it's just not guaranteed on everything, but it was never guaranteed because they did the most famous marketing language ever, up to 2 cents per point, which instantly, when I see up, 2. You already know. But anyway, the CSR used to cap out guaranteed 1.5 cents per point in the Chase travel portal. And now it went like 2.0 for almost everything for a good amount of time. Then it dropped to 1.8, 1.75 for a lot of people. Let's just call it the majority, a random majority of things. And everybody lost their minds. 1.75 is still more than 1.5.
1.67 is still more than 1.5.
1.67 is still more than 1.5. You're still coming out ahead more than you did 89 days ago. It's okay. Can we flip the coin on heads? Can we look towards the light? Can we be optimistic instead of pessimistic all the damn time? Sorry, RJ. I said your quiet part out loud.
No, like I think we get so wrapped up in what is taken away. And look, devaluation, if you're like Craig before and wanted to stay in all of the Waldorfs of the world and the devaluation hurt, like I get that. I get it. But Lonnie can still find 90K Conrads, and I still find $50,000-$60,000 rooms that I want to stay in places I want to go. There is value. There is things you can find. If you're looking for the negative, you're going to find the negative. If you're looking for the positive, you probably will also find the positive. And if you want to find positive, go to stackyourpoints.com and join our Discord. You like how I did that tie-in, Matt?
I like that you think that there's a lot of positivity in the Discord right now.
I'm positive that there is a Discord. How's that?
Yeah. My final thoughts here. Where does the CSR fit? I think it still fits. It is not the same card that it was, but the card, if you didn't go out of your way to get IHG status before, you have IHG status now. You can get higher IHG status the more money you put through the card. If you so choose to go down that path, you do not have to. It is still a good family. If you have a small family, a family of 3, Lonnie has a family of 3. I'm sure that you travel as 4 from time to time, but like the nuclear family that you have is a family of 3. Craig currently has a family of 3. That is changing. I have a family of 3. Yeah. My family of 3. I can bring my partner and my little one into a Sapphire lounge and not have to spring for another $195 card for my partner in order for them to get access. I can get into priority pass lounges with 2 guests, meaning my partner and my child, and I don't have to spring for another card. I don't have to do another $195 out of pocket. If you have a small family, and yes, it's going to be a small family, it is what it is. I'm capped at 3. I don't think I'm going past 3 at all. I ain't got the expenses for that. No, I can barely afford my family of 3, it feels. Anyway, it's a great travel card for a family of 3. You can get into the lounge, whichever lounge it is. I don't have to put $75,000 to spend through the card to unlock guest access that was previously given to me either on my Platinum card or my Venture X that I don't have. So
as long as it's in the terminal, I'm already in.
As long as it's in the terminal that Lonnie's already in, because he ain't walking that far, and I'm not going to Terminal 4 if I'm flying out of Terminal 5. Ain't no way I'm doing that at JFK. No. I'm most likely to be at Terminal B at LaGuardia in the times that I go to LaGuardia. But
and you have me, who's in the Delta app, checking every single terminal of whatever airport I'm about to fly in to find out which lounge I'm going to go to.
You're typically flying into Atlanta, so you've got 47,000 options no matter what terminal you're in.
Detroit. I'll do Detroit too. And then LaGuardia.
Okay. But you've got 2 options at Detroit because you're only going to be in that one terminal. You're not going over to the
4. There are 4 lounges there.
Terminal B is actually my favorite.
4.
Okay, we've lost the plot. Anyway, it's a good family travel credit card still. I can't say the same for the Platinum, and I can't say the same for the Venture X anymore. So it can definitely fit that niche. Yes, you've lost 3x broad travel. That sucks. Ink Preferred is still a card if you are in that line, if you're able to get those cards or willing to get those cards. I am certain that Chase is going to solve their 3x broad travel category conundrum on the personal side by the end of the year. Let them cook. I know that the recipes that have been coming out have been not great. I know that some of the souffles have been underbaked. I get it. I hear you. It's not great over there. But I do think they are going to correct the 3x broad travel that was taken off of the Sapphire Reserve. I do think it's going to go move to another card. Which one? I don't know. But I think it's going to move to another card. So there's still definitely a place for it to fit. It sucks that rental cars were taken off, but you still get primary CDW, and you can do your rental car through the portal. Earn 8 times points on that rental car. The dining credit, I don't love the way that I've burned it, but you can burn it relatively easily. It's not great. It's not something I generally subscribe to, but you can do it. It's no problem. The edit credit is nicer now that they lifted the semi-annualness off of it. We got to see what happens with this single-use 250 credit. I want to see that continue going forward with select hotels. If they rotate out those hotels, that's fine. It's still a good dining card. I understand if you have other lower annual fee dining cards, it doesn't make sense to park $795 for 3x dining. I get it. But I don't think it's as bad as it was. It's not great, but I don't think it's as bad as people continually pound the drum on it. Like it's taken some body blows for sure. But I do think that if you give it a year and just see how things game out for you, you should be okay. And yes, I still think there are plenty of things that could be changed on that card. The broken up DoorDash credits, you can make it just $125 credit, $25 credit to start. I understand they want you to use DoorDash. I get it. But the 3 orders is dumb. The Lyft credit is fine, but I still think that 10x and Lyft Pink would have been better. But it is what it is. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And I do think that Chase will find a way to fill the hole that they've created. I'm somewhat convinced that because of all the agita about this card, there may be a filler card in the mid-tier that is not exactly a Sapphire Reserve Light, but something closer to what they originally launched at with 450. Maybe it doesn't have a $300 travel credit, but I do think that they're going to bring back a card that will be better suited to fix complaints. But we'll see, because there's going to be a chasm. Like, they're going to move the Sapphire Preferred up to 150. If they move the Sapphire Preferred to 150 to $800, there's a big hole in the lineup. Right around $400, between $450 and $600, that a mid-tier card could fix. So we'll see. But it definitely still has a fit, especially if you were traveling with a family. If you're a solo traveler, I can't help you. So there we go. That'll do it for questions. Thanks so much for everyone submitting their questions this week. You can do so in the Stack Your Points Discord through stackyourpoints.com. You can always drop questions on comments and stuff like that. Greatly appreciate that. Any final thoughts before we wrap?
Got nothing else.
All right. Thanks, Ragrix, for sticking around for most of the stream. If you want to be like Ragrix and as one of our Diamond members, you can join Stack Your Points membership at stackyourpoints.com. We do have a number of Diamond members. We have no new members at other tiers. We do have 3 tiers of membership. Our Diamond members are Rupert Pond, Brandon Hirsch, Ragrix Hunter. Thank you, Ragrix. Mitch 528, Keith, Global Animal Fries, and Jason YT46. Stackpoints.com. You can join the Discord. You can join our membership. Check out our individual channels as well. But that's going to do it for this week. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you guys next week.